Bobby Brown Roney on the way here like a million times. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like a lot of local artists or up and coming artists, the issue I personally see them having is one, finding their sound at first, which is a natural progression, right?
Yeah.
It's figuring out like, I can put words together, I can figure out cadences, I can make a song, but what's my sound? You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of major artists on right now, they have a sound.
Already, yeah.
Like it or not, they have a sound. Gucci has a sound. Drake has a sound. Cole, like
Future guys.
You hear them rap, you gotta see the song or like see who's on the song. You're like, oh, this is a. It's even to the point some artists are so unique. You hear a beat on YouTube, it's like a Future type beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a unique thing. So I was like, I feel a lot of up and coming artists, that's what they develop, and I feel like where they fuck up essentially is they don't have a producer they work with, like their main producer.
It's
like,
important.
They go to like this guy, which is cool. Networking is cool, but it's like as far as developing your sound and coming up with who you are as an artist, they don't have that producer. So that leads to the question: is like, is there a main producer you're working with, or you're trying to find like a main producer, or like what's that?
Well, I mean, not to cut you off, bro, but I feel like he doesn't have that issue, right? Because you're a producer for yourself, aren't you?
Now, yeah.
Now. That's what I'm saying. But is that because you don't not trust, but you don't have a main producer, or just like part of it you enjoy as well?
It's tough because I feel like it's really hard to link up with a producer and be like, all right, let's create a sound, just me and you, right? It's really hard to find that because a lot of, no shade on producers. I'm a producer myself, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of other producers, they literally just want to, all right, let me just flood Fabulous's inbox and see if I can get him a beat, rather than me and you work together day and night. Like Drake did with 40.
Yep.
Like I was getting to that. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So many other artists did that too. So it's really hard to find that. But I was able to click up with a couple producers early on. Like my brother's damn near to this day, But I think what happens is like as your sound evolves, you have your own lane you want to go to. So it's kind of like I have a vision where I want my music to go. So now I'm just doubling down on the production, everything, mixing and mastering. That way the picture looks exactly how I see it in my head. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's your art. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
If it ain't how you want it, is it really yours? You know what I'm saying? So that makes sense.
When you sit down and make your own beats, I know we talked about your sound previously and how you kind of like resemble J. Cole and Kendrick. Is there like a particular like thing you think about when you're in the studio creating your beats? Like, how do you go about making your beats?
To be honest, it's all experimentation. It's all just me personally. I listen to R&B all day.
My man.
R&B. Yo, I listen.
The best, bro.
No facts. I was listening to Bobby Brown Roney on the way here like a million times. You know what I mean? Like I just,
bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I love R&B. I love I grew up on like Sade, Toni Braxton, Mariah Carey, Marvin Gaye. I grew up on that. I didn't even grow up on Dominican music like that.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine not growing up on R&B?
Oh my god,
like that would suck. Soulless you are.
That'd be trash.
You ain't got no love in your heart, bro. Like, come on, man.
You
listen to R&B?
Can't be trusted at that point, for real.
Yeah.
No, I respect that. R&B is a big part. A lot of people still sample a lot of like old school R&B music.
Oh,
too.
I do all the time. It's a drug. Sucks. I can't help
They're
it.
They're legit. Yeah. You can never go wrong with that.
Yeah. So I listen to a lot of things like that, and the way you create music, literally, it's kind of like whatever you listen to it gets mixed up in your subconscious mind. Okay. So when you sit down to create, at least for me, I don't sit down and say, hey, I want to create this today. It's kind of like all the shit I listened to yesterday just comes out. So I might, if I'm listening to Papi's Home by Drake, I'm gonna try to sample some 90s R&B shit now, and that's just the way it works, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. That's cool. All right, so to backtrack a little bit. So, what would you say? Like you're full blown into rapping now. You're fucking like this is what I do. What I guess influenced that decision? Because I know like you went to college with my cousin and like that's how I met you. Like you know what I'm saying?
Homie, man, it's the homie.
Shout out Julian, yo.
Shout out Julian.
But so what was that pivot where you're like like this is what I want to do? Because I feel like every young kid, at least in our community growing up, is like at some point we all think about like I'm gonna be a rapper.
Oh yeah.
But what made you decide like like it's not just I'm gonna be a rapper, like this is what the fuck I'm doing, like I'm committed and this is what I'm doing?
I mean, I feel like it was a gradual process throughout my whole life, So like when I was a kid, like I said, my mom used to bump all that shit and I loved it. Like to this day I'll sit and listen to Sade with her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
And I feel like that love for music was always there. And then It was just a gradual process. You remember, like, we was in 5th grade, everybody was rapping.
Bro.
So you became a rapper for like a month, and then you stopped.
That one bar, you thought you was
you thought you was the man. You
forgot 4 bars, you thought hottest shit on the planet.
Talking about shooting people and shit that you wasn't doing at all. You know what I mean? We all been there. And so I feel like that faded. I eventually, I went with the crowd, I guess, until like I realized like when everybody was off that, I kind of stayed writing a little bit. Like, yo, why do I like this shit? And everybody's kind of off it now, you know what I mean? And
it was always there. Yeah,
it was always there. And then I think like, shit, even clicking up with Julian, we used to write songs and make beats in the dorm room, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then it just got to a point where it was like, I couldn't even just ignore that voice in my head, like, bro, you got to do this shit. And it was more so like lack of belief in myself. Like, you think about it, like, oh, you gonna be an artist? Like, that's crazy. You got to go to school just like everybody else. But then I met some people who was actually doing it, like going on tour and shit. My homie Ray, his cousin Anthony, and I'm like, yo, this is really doable, you know?
It's a tangible thing.
It's a real tangible thing. And I remember my homie Ray told me one day, he's like, yo, you want to do this shit for real? Write a verse every day. So I remember, yo, February 2016. I don't remember the day, but I remember the month. I was like, yo, I'm writing a verse every day. I'm hitting the gas on this shit. Yeah. So it's just pretty much that. And then everything that happened was just confirmation, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy because like what you really focus on does happen. So like now I'm making music. Now people are hitting me up for shows out of nowhere. They don't even know. You know what I'm saying? They might have just heard one song.
Right.
And then that's confirmation to do another show, and it gets stronger, the feeling, you know what I mean?
Love it, bro.
Since you're writing more often now, like a month you just be writing just lyrics and stuff like that. Yeah. Does it come easy to you now? Like, can you just go off the dome and just spit like naturally?
It never really gets easy because I feel like you level up over time. And I guess you could, like, I know people, they'll hop in the studio and they'll write a song in like 20 minutes.
Facts.
But for me, I've been writing for 6 years, like every day, damn near, you know? And it still takes me sometimes an hour to like a week to finish a verse. You know what I'm saying? Just because even though I'm getting better, I still put just enough thought and effort. So it don't matter, even if I get better, I'm still going to put just as much effort into it. So it doesn't get easier at all, you know what I'm saying? I just get better, you know?
Respect.
Yeah. You would think, though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
I was hoping, but...
Like, yeah, but I feel like that changes. Like, everybody's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, the classic example, Jay-Z, famous for not writing shit down.
Crazy.
Like, that's cool, but like, bro, it's like, that's Jay-Z.
Not everybody can do that, man.
Lil Wayne does that, but like, again,
Kendrick
that's
too,
Lil Wayne.
yeah.
Like, Kendrick's great, J. Cole's great, but J. Cole is known for, you know, pen to pad. Like, pen so everybody has their style. And, bro, you make good music, so if shit works, it works.
It works, it don't matter what you do. You know what I'm
saying? As long as it comes out nice.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this clip and want to see more, go ahead and hit subscribe. And don't forget to subscribe to our main channel for our full episodes of our podcast. Thanks again.